Namaskar. Very warm welcome to all our esteemed panelists, dignitaries, and attendees. Many thanks for being part of our 13th Foundation Day event. And throughout the day, we are having 7 dedicated panel discussions. The current one is 5th in the row and aims to touch upon a very interesting topic, that is power of storytelling and role of media and how to portray disability. And to sort of suggest the power of a story, I would like to talk about one. I'll just take a couple of minutes for that. This is a recent experience. We have weekly alumni sessions wherein leadership team at Sarthak connects with alumni across our centers on a rotational basis. And this Friday, I happened to meet one of our alumni from Mumbai Center, Arvind Kumar. He is blind. He completed his education from St. Stephen's and currently is working in Indian Railways. He told me that Sarthak played an immense role in his life and supported him in becoming what he is today, living an independent life and supporting his family and whatnot. I thought this could be because we are also into promoting different government jobs using our website, social media, and a dedicated app named as Cap Sarathi. But just to confirm, I asked him, how Sarthak supported you for this government job? Because to the best of my understanding, we are not providing direct support for jobs in railways or so. So he shared that after completing his education, he was looking for a government job. And as he's blind, he needed a scribe, a writer to write for him in the exam. And it simply translated into requirement of amount of around between 5,000 to 8,000 at least. And at that point of time, he didn't have that money. So he sort of started losing his hope. And then he said that somebody told him about Sarthak and he thought of giving it a try. And he was enrolled in a 3 months training. And then after he also got a job in telemarketing based job. He worked there for some time, gained confidence, earned experience, and again tried for government job. And this time he had money to pay for a scribe or a writer. And he got selected in Indian Railways. And now he's very happy. And that story really touched me. And he said that Sarthak gave me that push to step me out of my challenges. At that point of time, I was not able to think of any way out because that sum of 5,000 and 8,000 was posing such a barrier to me. I was not able to look forward to it that anything can be done. And at that time, Sarthak supported me, and I was really touched by that story. And then I realized that such stories have the power to move masses, and I can vouch for that. So, with this thought, I would just request now Ajay Kanchan sir to take the session ahead. I would just uh, introduce sir through a short intro. That's a pleasure and privilege, sir. So Ajay sir is our National Advisory Board member and has been supporting us since last many years. He is CEO of Media Today, which is one of the pioneers of media monitoring and evaluation of media coverage in India, and also the director of Delhi-based Center for Advocacy and Communication. He is a versatile Bollywood director with 32 years of experience in journalism, corporate communication, and development sector. His works such as Poison on the Platter, Aisa Kyun Hota Hai, earned great praise and awards. His innovative communication project on HIV/AIDS was ranked as one of the 3 most innovative communication projects in the world by the UN Conference on Children and Media in Rio in 2004. And I would add one more line from my end, that is, once Ajay sir took one session of our team about creative communication and how to spread awareness about this, about disability, about PWDs, their rights and needs, and creating a positive environment. And we really loved that session, and we look forward to more such sessions in coming future, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Nishtha. Thank you so much. Such powerful story, that you narrated at the outset. And very nice to see that Shraddha has also joined us. Hi, Shraddha. And where are you based, Shraddha, right now?
हाय बेटा जॉब हो गया पापा के फोन से
Okay. All right. Let me start. There's a friend of mine in Devwan, and his name is Nawaz Devwandi, and he's a shair. And one of his shair I really like a lot. He says, "Andhera to bahut der se tha magar." The darkness was there all around for a very long time. Andhera to bahut der se tha magar बल्कि वो उसको उन्होंने क्या करा कि एक जुगनू के बारे में उन्होंने कहा कि एक जुगनू रोशन तो बहुत देर से था मगर एक जुगनू रोशन तो था बहुत देर से मगर लोग पहचाने उसे जब हर तरफ अंधेरा हुआ. So this is something, I mean, what happens that whenever the stories of struggle, the stories of, I have spent close to 20 years in the film industry. Unfortunately, around the time when I was hanging my boot and I was coming out of the industry, that was the time when Sarthak was started. So it took me actually quite a while to do something for Sarthak, something Sarthak for Sarthak. Now, story is something, I mean, today what we are doing, we are celebrating a story. We are celebrating a story of an individual who managed to overcome his tough circumstances and just created a platform, and that platform empowered and enabled almost 22,000 people with disability to discover new meaning of their life. I will not say that they got a livelihood. They got a dignity, self-respect, and some kind of a self-confidence. So such as a story, such as the power of storytelling. What happened in those 13 years, the way Dr. Agrawal, his story was told, the way Sarthak's story was told, I was quite amazed, because in the beginning when 2008, 2009, when I used to meet Dr. Agrawal, that point in time he used to struggle to meet even one corporate house. And today I could see that the HUL chairman, Hindustan Unilever's chairperson, he was the chief guest over there. There are so many people in the advisory board who have been the secretaries, the senior IS officers. So basically, this is the power of the story. And sometimes, what happens, it's just not actually, we should take that very often disability may not be the disability. I mean, somebody has told me what is really disability. In all 13 years, what I have learned is the disability of so-called able people like us to see the special ability in the people with disability. So that was something actually, when I met Rahul, actually, I was amazed. I interviewed him, about 10 years back. And, every single time I used to, so mesmerized the way, right from his childhood onwards, the kind of, struggle that he has gone through, and at the same time, so much he has achieved. But what happens, during these times on the COVID, currently, by the way, I am responsible for, my company is responsible for entire countrywide COVID communication and tracking in almost 14 languages. So we know every day the kind of stories that we are coming across. And so many stories that we have seen in the recent, days, weeks, the kind of stories of, the human suffering. I couldn't see Ravish ji is here. So Ravish ji's stories actually of the migrants, and the way, Dainik Bhaskar has covered the story, Indian Express has, covered the story, Times of India is coming out, the story of hope. So many things are coming. But at the same time, I was also hoping that, people have started talking that this is the new normal. This is the new normal. You will be working from home. You will be using masks. So many things will happen. This is the new normal for you. But in many ways, it has become a new abnormal for people with disabilities. And sometimes a lot of disabilities, perhaps people can tap that particular, ability and the circumstances of the people with disability, that they can create new opportunities. There can be new ways of empowering them. And that is something actually, which can be done only through by a very close association of media, the kind of partnership actually, that we can have with the media people, and the way the media people can take interest. So this is something, this was the one session I was really seriously looking forward. And perhaps I think this entire pandemic has created so many stories, because in many ways, all of us have experienced a degree of disability in the last, 18 months. Because I think we could now empathize, what it is like, when you are not able to commute, you are not able to go out, you are confined to a place. Perhaps you begin to see that, so many mental disorders and other things, people are talking about these days. So this is where the, the real challenge is. So maybe I could begin with some of the people, some of the very fascinating people, we are having out here. But I think all other people are actually, have some sort of media interface, and they are media people. But maybe allow me to basically, start with Rahul. And Rahul, as he just like, communicated to me that he is a very passionate banker with over 15 years of experience and across the customer segments. And he has exposure both in India and the UK. And he has earned his economic degree from St. Stephen's College and Delhi School of Economics. That's really, I think, remarkable feat. And Rahul leads the way for empowerment of people with disabilities in a rather inaccessible profession of banking. And that too, basically, somebody, who's having a visual impairment. So, and Rahul has held several key positions of responsibility and has been accredited for building and scaling up the several successful large businesses for the bank. But for me, it's really interesting, that he could be able to provide us the perspective of somebody who's on the other side of the divide and also has the experience of living both in India as well as in the UK. And first time when I went to the UK in '94, I could see that the people with disability, actually, they are a privileged lot. Perhaps this is the way their stories have been told, the way the government policies have been formulated, the way they have been supported. So maybe he is in a very good position to begin with. So Rahul, I would like to basically, I speak about and maybe your experience, your journey, as well as, what do you expect from the media? The way because somebody who's in the bank cannot be cut off, cannot be basically, isolated from the media, the way the media projections and everything, and the way the role media can play, and the way you can contrast actually, your experience here in India as well as in the UK. Maybe I think it'll be fascinating for us to, set the tone for this session.
Thank you, Ajay for such humbling words. Grateful. First of all, let me congratulate Sarthak for 13 years of fantabulous journey. I have had a good fortune to be associated with Sarthak now for almost 9 years. And incidentally, on the fourth annual day of Sarthak back in 2012 is when I had an opportunity to meet Ajay also in person. It also happens to be an auspicious day of Guru Purnima. So congratulations to everybody and thanks to all the gurus who have helped us travel all this path. With that, as Ajay said, I've had a great run as a banker for the last 15 years. I've had an opportunity to work both in India and the UK at fairly senior positions. Interestingly, I'm in a profession which for many years, in fact, even today, is considered to be a closed sector for people with visual impairments. It's still a sector which is looked more open for, let's say, people with locomotive disabilities. Now, we spoke, Ajay spoke about, that how he got amazed when he first went to London. And I think my experience was more different. There, the whole perception of people with disability is different. One of the problems in India that we often encounter is आज भी दिव्यांग को इस देश में लोग एक तरह का बोझ समझते हैं. जब बच्चा पैदा होता है तो माँ बाप के बाद डॉक्टर्स, फिर टीचर्स, फिर दोस्त. It all depends on how the child gets positioned. Now, for parents in a country like India, it's a humongous task to raise a child with physical disabilities, physical or mental disabilities, because the parents don't know what is the likely future of this child as the child will grow up. And of course, as Indians, we are very emotional about subjects like parenting. But I have been fortunate to have parents who could look positive. Same way, doctors can play a very, very commendable role. Starting, I heard some stories where doctors on day one said, your child is an obligation, let it pass. And on the other side, there were doctors who said, it's the same child, that the child can do wonders. Medical science is progressing. Now the whole narrative and storytelling can change things to such vast dimensions. And who knows better storytelling than media? it is, we all know how media can makes brands, breaks brands, break stereotypes. It's high time we need to break those stereotypes. I remember one of the amazing campaigns, almost around 7 to 8 years back. It was ran by a radio channel, and look at the power of storytelling. The slogan they gave out was "Soch ke dekho," and very interestingly, they asked a question that in India at that time there were around 80 lakh people who were blind, and they said, "How many have you really seen around you?" Such a simple line. But a media house talking about this, it even made us think, yes, do we really get to see blind people on the street? How many times in India do you see people crossing roads? How many times we have seen people with wheelchairs on the road? Not many, at least I have not. But look at a contrast to that. In UK, you'll be amazed. People are just leading such a normal life. Whether they are blind, they are on wheelchairs, they always have an opportunity to move around. Why? Because there is accessibility. Media, to my mind, needs to now play a role where they need to start celebrating Divyangs. And a narrative can make a hell lot of a difference. Right? One, we can crib off a problem. Well, there are challenges. We are a growing country. We got to address some of those challenges. But at the same time, we need to celebrate our Divyangs. What could be a better and a more incredible story than Dr. Jitendra Agarwal, who appeared to be a Karamveer on KBC. Now, the minute Dr. Agarwal gets positioned in front of Mr. Bachchan, the brand position changes. And I'm a banker, I'm a financier, I understand how the valuations play out, right? Now that's the power. When media puts certain brands around, we get heard. And we get heard not for our benefit, but to enlighten and light up more candles. हम वो जुगनू और दिखने लग जाएंगे उस अंधेरे में जो अभी भी छुपे हुए बैठे हैं. बट उसके लिए हमें मीडिया का कैमरा, मीडिया की स्पॉटलाइट उन जुगनू के ऊपर चाहिए. एंड दैट विल बी द आर्ट कि लाइट जाएगी बट अंधेरे को दिखाते हुए वो जुगनू चमके. I am not a creative person. I was just saying, and I of course get very intimidated by such amazing people. I would love to hear each one of you, and probably at different points might interject with my views as a PWD. But I think the narrative needs to change. We Divyangs can no longer be seen as an obligation. They need to be seen as opportunity. In today's time, when work from home is an accepted norm, the companies are looking to cut down on their OPEX. Aren't people on wheelchair a fantastic choice? They are open to work from home. They cut down your OPEX. They will not insist to run around. Just go and grab that. We all need to find these opportunities even in these times. And as I said, my humble request to all my media friends, don't let people take health and safety in India for granted. If the top global brands of hotels cannot afford to have inaccessible infrastructure, they should not dare to have such infrastructure in India. We cannot let these people go that our Divyangs are tripping on their steps, and these people go unnoticed. They need to be covered. These stories need to come out, and we want media to step up and take this with as much passion with which you took topics like gender, LGBT, and different other sensitive topics. Save the Tiger. Ravish is here, so it just got reminded me of the phenomenal thing that they started. Save the Divyang in this country. I'll take a pause there.
And thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much. You have really set the tone, and clearly, I think I would say you have clearly established that the अंधेरा काफी नहीं है. मीडिया की स्पॉटलाइट भी चाहिए जुगनू को दिखाने के लिए. तो बहुत आपने जिस तरह से I think you have explained your sentiments, and I would say there could not have been a sort of a more articulate and more, I would say, convincing pitch for what media is supposed to do. Because sometimes what happens is that people like us, when we start, preaching and just say like, I mean, it just creates a divide between us and them, that the media should do this, media should do that. We are all basically part of it. And somewhere down the line, actually, it will take time, because the way you have spoken about the stereotypes actually need to be broken. And this is where the role of the media has been very, very critical and very important. And I'm very happy to say that a lot of actually the people are doing a fantastic job, the way they are highlighting, some of those stories, and even myself also very closely, involved in all that. In fact, I will say that in early 90s, when I was heading Oxfam for South Asia region, I was managing almost close to 600 projects. And those 600 projects, I mean, what we did, we classified those projects on the basis of C, C++, C+++, I mean, what is the communication potential of those projects is there. So right now we are talking about the power of storytelling. And in that power of storytelling, Ravish ji is here, and in mid-90s में NDTV का स्ट्रक्चर कुछ बड़ा अलग सा हुआ करता था. उस दौरान मेरी उन लोगों से बहुत ज्यादा बातचीत होती थी, और उन सबसे बातचीत करते करते मैंने उनको एक सजेस्ट किया कि आई कैन गिव यू some story idea. They said, "Okay, we would like to run a series in case if the good stories are there." And this was the genesis of India Matters. I don't know actually how many people remember this or not, but it was, I mean, my own brainchild actually, in mid-90s. And I said, across the country, we will provide you so many stories that you can run the program for whole year. And I think, if I'm not wrong, this program India Matters went on for like, close to, 3 to 4 years. So such, I mean, the stories are there almost all sectors. And रवीश जी के बारे में जो है, मेरी उनसे पर्सनली कभी भेंट तो नहीं हुई, लेकिन मुझे इस बात की बहुत खुशी है कि मेरे होम टाउन ने, झांसी ने, उनको एक बहुत बड़े पत्रकारिता के सम्मान से उनको नवाजा. एक आई वाज जस्ट रीडिंग, एक रामेश्वर, वहां पर एक जो पुरस्कार मिलता है पत्रकारिता के क्षेत्र में, वो रवीश जी को उन्होंने दिया. और हम लोगों ने उनकी रिपोर्टिंग देखी एक्चुअली. अभी पूरे पैंडेमिक के दौरान जो है, जिस तरह से पूरा माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स के साथ में उन्होंने समय बिताया और पूरा जो फील्ड में जाके काम किया. बिकॉज हम लोग हमेशा एक बात बोलते थे कि whenever I was working in the development sector, there are people who are armchair advocates, and there are people actually, who are the real foot soldiers. Who are the real foot soldiers of the media, who are not just basically sitting and anchoring a program. Anchoring is also not very easy job. I am not basically disparaging the thing. But what you anchor actually, so much input, come from the field. और वही एक चुनौती होती है. तो मैं रवीश जी का बहुत ज्यादा मैं डिटेल में परिचय देने के बजाय, क्योंकि थोड़ा सा कुछ मिक्सअप हो गया था, मैंने कल भावना को मैंने पॉइंट आउट किया था. मैंने कहा ये दरअसल मैं दोनों को ही मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा जानता हूँ, और रवीश जी को मैंने देखा हुआ है उसमें जो है माइग्रेंट की रिपोर्टिंग में. मैंने सोचा कि तुमने बहुत अच्छी चॉइस की हुई है, लेकिन हम लोग वो जो स्टोरीज उस समय दिखा रहे थे, और जिस तरह की जो मैंने अभी बात कही कि इस पैंडेमिक के दौरान वी ऑल फेल्ट अ डिग्री ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी इन डिफरेंट वेज. एंड रवीश जी ने जो है लोगों के साथ में जाके जिस तरह से उनकी जो पीड़ाएं थी, जो संवेदनाएं थी, जो उन्होंने कैप्चर की और उन्होंने बताया. आपको क्या लगता है रवीश जी, हम लोग जो है कैसे इस पे फोकस करें, इस पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर के ऊपर? बिकॉज ये कोई छोटा सेक्टर नहीं है. मतलब हकीकत ये है कि 2011 में जब हमारे यहाँ सेंसस हुआ था, उसके बाद से देयर आर 13 मोर डिसेबिलिटी सेक्टर्स हैव बीन एडेड टू डिसेबिलिटी. And maybe in 2021, when actual this census comes out, we might find that a population almost more than the size of Australia and New Zealand and Canada put together, that's the basically population of the people with disability in our country. तो रवीश जी, आपको क्या लगता है, हम लोगों को क्या करना चाहिए? आपका स्वागत है, और आई एम वेरी हैप्पी दैट यू आर हियर. उनको अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा पहले. निष्ठा, he is muted.
रवीश सर आप म्यूट पे हैं सर, उन्हीं के एंड से म्यूट होगा.
रवीश जी, आपने शायद खुद अपने आप को म्यूट किया हुआ है, या आपके पास कोई ऐसा कोई कंट्रोल पैनल है उस तरफ?
हेलो, अब मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
फैंटास्टिक, वेरी गुड.
धन्यवाद पहले तो आप सभी का कि आपने मुझे बुलाया और एक मंच दिया मुझे अपनी बात कहने का. सार्थक का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. अब मीडिया से आमतौर पर तमाम सारे सेक्टर्स की बहुत सारी शिकायतें हैं, और हम लोग भी खुद फील करते हैं कि हम बहुत सारी चीजों को नहीं दिखा पा रहे हैं। और आप जान ही रहे हैं कि आजकल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया का कौन सा दौर चल रहा है। इसमें तमाम सारे नेताओं की बहुत ज्यादा बातें आ रही हैं, लेकिन किसान, मजदूर और दिव्यांगों की जो असली जो समस्या है उस पर हमारा मीडिया बहुत कम बात करता है। या बहुत सारे तो मीडिया के ऐसे लोग हैं कि वो बिल्कुल बात करना नहीं चाहते हैं, क्योंकि टीआरपी का सारा खेल हो चुका है। जहां तक बात रही कि तमाम सारे हम लोग इश्यूज को अपने मीडिया के थ्रू जो है वो खबर बनाते रहते हैं उसके ऊपर में, लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात है अजय जी कि हम लोगों के पास में इंफॉर्मेशन थोड़ा पहुंचने में कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है कि इंफॉर्मेशन एक रिपोर्टर के पास में नहीं पहुंच पाती है दिव्यांगों की समस्याओं के बारे में। तो सबसे पहले उस प्लेटफॉर्म को हम लोगों को मजबूत करना पड़ेगा, ताकि हमारा आपस में इंटरेक्शन जो है वो काफी ज्यादा हो। आप तमाम सारे आइडियाज हमें शेयर कर सकते हैं वाया व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू, और कई सारी जिन चीजों को हम लोग नहीं समझते हैं उनको आप ज्यादा समझकर और उस पर आप जो है वो हमें बता सकते हैं। तो हम लोग उस प्रॉब्लम को अपने मीडिया के जरिए जो है वो रख सकते हैं चैनलों पर। अब होता ये है कि हम लोग जो है जो हम लोगों का मीडियम है, जो टीवी मीडिया है, उसमें सबसे बड़ी बात होती है कि विजुअल क्या है। अगर आप किसी भी संपादक के पास अपने मतलब स्टोरी आइडियाज को लेकर जाते हो तो सबसे पहले वो पूछता है कि आपके पास विजुअल इसमें क्या होंगे। और टीवी पर जब तक विजुअल नहीं रहता है तब तक हम तमाम सारी चीजों को ला नहीं पाते हैं। तो एक तो यहाँ पे हमें दिक्कत होती है। तो अगर हमारे आपके बीच में संवाद बना रहेगा, कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जिनको आप लगता है कि ये प्रॉब्लम होती है दिव्यांग को, हम लोगों को उस तरीके की प्रॉब्लम नहीं महसूस हो पाती जितनी आप सब उसको समझकर हम लोगों को एक तरीके से बता सकते हैं। तो ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स को अगर आप बताएंगे हमें तो मेरे ख्याल से हम लोग जरूर उसको उठाने की कोशिश करेंगे। तमाम सारी हम लोगों ने जो है वो खबरें की हैं पिछले उसमें, जैसे कि ईरा सिंघल अभी जो एक आईएएस ऑफिसर हैं, उन्होंने काफी लंबी लड़ाई लड़ी थी। उनको जो है वो आईआरएस बनने के बाद में पोस्टिंग नहीं मिल रही थी, उसकी तमाम सारी हम लोगों ने खबर दिखलाई। अभी एक आपके ट्रांसको के जो डायरेक्टर हैं उनको भी कुछ इसी तरीके से दिव्यांग होने की वजह से डीडीए ने उनको नकार दिया। तो उनकी तमाम सारी खबरें हमें दिखाई, लेकिन ये सारी खबरें तब आ पाई जब लोगों ने खुद हमें अप्रोच किया, बताया। क्योंकि आजकल एकदम इंफॉर्मेशन का इतना ज्यादा बहाव है कि तमाम सारी खबरें चला करती हैं, तो उसमें आपको थोड़ा सा ज्यादा जिम्मेदारी एक तरीके से लेनी पड़ेगी कि आपको हमें ज्यादा मतलब कि अवेयर करना पड़ेगा, चीजों को बताना पड़ेगा। तो इस पर हो सकता है कि मीडिया ज्यादा जो है वो खबरें करे। और अभी राहुल जी ने बहुत अच्छी बात उन्होंने कही, जैसे सीढ़ियों का उन्होंने अभी एक वीडियो भेजा है। तो ये सारी प्रॉब्लम को हम लोग उठा सकते हैं, और अगर आपस में हम लोगों के साथ में इंटरेक्शन बना रहता है तो हम इसको डेफिनेटली जो है अपने टीवी के जरिए इसको सामने लेकर आएंगे। जी अजय।
रवि जी, एक मतलब छोटा सा मैं इंटरजेक्ट करूंगा यहाँ पर, क्योंकि मैंने भी ऑलमोस्ट कम से कम जो जिंदगी के पहले 20 साल थे वो एक्टिव जर्नलिज्म में ही गुजारे। कई बार क्या होता है कि मतलब कि जैसे आपने देखिए माइग्रेंट्स के साथ में आपने रोड पर जाके, सड़कों पर जहां पर आप उनके साथ में गए, और मुझे कुछ ऐसा लगा कि कहीं ना कहीं हम लोगों को ये शायद हमारी भी अपनी एक नैतिक जिम्मेदारी भी बनती है कि इस पूरे दौरान में जो पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटी, द विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड थे, जो हो सकता है कि कहीं किसी कॉल सेंटर में काम कर रहे थे, या उन लोगों का क्या हाल हुआ होगा। उन लोगों के घर पर भी जाके हम लोगों को बहुत अच्छे विजुअल भी मिल सकते थे, स्टोरीज भी मिल सकती थी, उनकी संवेदना को भी हम लोग सामने ला सकते थे। इसमें तो फिर कोई शक नहीं, मैं आपसे पूरी तरह सहमत हूं कि सार्थक जैसी संस्थाओं को, जो ये ग्लोबल रिसोर्स सेंटर की जो बात कर रहे हैं, जो एक एडवोकेसी का जो प्लेटफॉर्म क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं, अभी एक सबसे बड़ी मुसीबत क्या है कि इस सेक्टर में, और खास तौर से जो डिसेबिलिटी पे जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस काम कर रही हैं, उनके पास में शायद उतने साधन और उतना उनके एक वो जरिया नहीं है कि जिसके जरिए वो चीजों को आर्टिकुलेट कर सके एक बहुत प्रोफेशनली। तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे भी लगता है कि मतलब कि अगर आपको ऐसा महसूस होता है कि हम लोग आपको इन्फॉर्म करना चाहिए। हमने जैसे अभी बहुत हद तक, जब तक हमको खुद नहीं पता था इस बारे में, और मैं आपको बताऊं कि कई बार क्या होता है कि जब तक हम लोग अपने आप को एंगेज नहीं करते हैं। फॉर इंस्टेंस, इफ आई टेल यू, फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम व्हेन आई टुक डॉक्टर अग्रवाल टू मीट महेश भट्ट एंड पूजा, I used to work with them actually for a very long time. So what Dr. Agarwal said to him is that, "Okay, sir, my name is Dr. Jitendra Agarwal, and by the grace of Almighty, I lost my eyesight." Everybody was stuck up. He said, "By the grace of Almighty, you lost your eyesight?" He said, "What are you saying?" He said, "Sir, अगर आंखें अगर होती ना, मैं डेंटिस्ट था, लोगों की गंदगी साफ करता रहता, लोगों के दांतों की गंदगी मैंने वही देखता रहता। और अब भगवान ने चूंकि मुझे एक बड़े कॉज के लिए चुना है, तो मैं अपनी पूरी जिंदगी इस पर डेडिकेट कर रहा हूं।" तो वो एक स्टोरी जो उनका वहां तक, जिस पहले वही डॉक्टर जितेंद्र अग्रवाल, जब जिनकी आंखें गई तो उन्होंने अपने कई बार उन्होंने सुसाइड तक उन्होंने करने का सोचा, लेकिन वही जब जो है उनको एक सहारा मिला, लोगों ने उनको, वो खुद आगे बढ़े, अपनी हिम्मत से पहले आगे बढ़े, और स्पॉटलाइट मीडिया की भी उन पे आई। अब जो हमने कहा कि शुरू में एक भी कॉर्पोरेट हाउस उनके साथ नहीं जुड़ता था, आज 1000 के आसपास कॉर्पोरेट्स ऐसे हैं। पहले जब हम लोग उनको अप्रोच करते थे तो बोलते थे, आप जो है ना कुछ एक चेक ले लीजिए हमसे, वी विल पे यू सम अमाउंट, बट हाउ कैन वी बेसिकली रिक्रूट पीपल इन आवर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन? बट द वे सार्थक स्टार्टेड एक्चुअली, आई मीन डूइंग सम काइंड ऑफ ऑडिट ऑफ दोज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस कि आप क्या, किस तरह के जॉब होते हैं। He went into the hospitality sector. Hospitality sector में उन्होंने कहा कि आपके यहाँ कमरे की सफाई करने का काम है, कमरे को ठीक करने का काम है, किचन में करने का काम है, we will do it for you. And when they saw the value in this, I was very happy to see a number of hotel chains, their senior management, they learned the sign language. It became important for them to basically learn the sign language. And these are the fantastic stories for us. I mean, when I am basically talking to you, Ravish ji, I am just basically saying कि दो मीडिया के कॉलीग आपस में बात कर रहे हैं, और आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर जो है बहुत सारे ऐसे कोस्टा कॉफी के और भी ऐसे बहुत सारे आउटलेट्स हैं which are being completely managed by people with disability. And perhaps अभी these are the fantastic stories, because क्या होता है कि जब मीडिया की स्पॉटलाइट इनके ऊपर होती है तो उससे बहुत लोगों में एक विश्वास पैदा होता है कि ये एक बर्डन नहीं है। जो राहुल ने कहा कि जो पहला परसेप्शन होता है कि लोग जो है बर्डन महसूस करते हैं, उनको अचानक ये लगना शुरू होता है कि मतलब कि ये बर्डन नहीं है बल्कि एसेट्स हैं, और उनको हम लोग ज्यादा एंगेज कर सकते हैं। तो आपको क्या लगता है कि मतलब कि इसमें मीडिया अपनी तरफ से भी क्या पहल कर सकती है?
जी देखिए, बहुत अच्छा आपने एक वाक्य बताया कि जैसे कि आपने जितेंद्र जी का एक आपने जिक्र किया। अगर जितेंद्र जी की कहानी पहले हम लोगों को इस तरीके की पता होती तो शायद हो सकता था, अभी जब आप बता रहे थे तो मैं सोच रहा था, उसको विजुलाइज कर रहा था कि कैसे हम शूट कर सकते थे इसको, कैसे उनका हम इंटरव्यू ले सकते थे। तो ऐसी तमाम सारी कहानियां हैं। वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कि थोड़ा अभी क्या है कि टेक्नोलॉजी के इरा में हम लोग एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के ही जरिए आपस में अगर जुड़े रहेंगे, तमाम सारे कुछ मीडिया वालों को आप जोड़िए, कुछ आप लोग हैं, तमाम सारी कहानियां आपके पास में आती हैं, तो उसको अगर आप सिंपल सा एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में डाल देंगे तो हम लोग अपने हिसाब से उसको विजुलाइज करके और फिर उसके ऊपर में काम कर सकते हैं। और ऐसी कहानियों को आना चाहिए टीवी पर, क्योंकि इससे एक समाज के एक बड़े तबके का एक नजरिया जो है वो चेंज होता है, बदलाव कहीं ना कहीं दिखता है। क्योंकि आमतौर पर हम देखते हैं कि हमारी सोसाइटी में ये सही बात है जो अभी राहुल जी बता रहे थे कि लायबिलिटी मान लिया जाता है, तो इसको चेंज करने के लिए मीडिया का बहुत अहम किरदार है। और मुझे लगता है कि अगर ये सारी कहानियां जितेंद्र गुप्ता जी, राहुल जी जैसे अगर लोगों की आएंगी कहानियां, तो हम उनको बेहतर तरीके से प्रेजेंट करेंगे और उस पर एक अच्छी सी खबर कर सकते हैं, हम लोग स्टोरी कर सकते हैं, डॉक्यूमेंट्री बना सकते हैं उसके ऊपर में। तो ये अगर चीजें आएंगी तो डेफिनेटली हम लोग होंगे। अभी लॉकडाउन में मुझे किसी ने बताया कि जो दृष्टिहीन का हॉस्टल है उसमें तमाम सारी प्रॉब्लम उनको हो रही है, ना पानी आ रहा है उनके पास में, ना कोई सुविधाएं मिल रही हैं। हम लोग उसको करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, लेकिन अब चूंकि ऐसे हॉस्टल में एक प्राइवेसी का भी खतरा होता है, तो कुछ लोगों ने हमें उन्हीं में से कह दिया कि अगर आप ऐसे आएंगे तो पता नहीं प्राइवेसी हमारी ठीक रह पाएगी कि नहीं। हमने फिर उस स्टोरी आइडिया को छोड़ दिया। तो ऐसी अगर कहानियां एक आप लोगों के जरिए और उस तरीके से थोड़ी सी मदद अगर हो जाया करे, तो हम लोग उस बात को उस आप कह सकते हैं कि समस्या को हम सामने लेकर आ सकते हैं।
I think Ravish ji, I mean completely, I am in total agreement with you that it's basically the common challenge, and the people like us and so many people who are basically supporting the cause. I think I think it's the onus is on all of us, and maybe the kind of willingness you are showing. So let me now thank you so much Ravish ji that you are here. एक समय ऐसा था कि जब हम लोग बात करते थे तो जब वो मीडिया पैनल की बात आती थी तो हमको लगता था कि डॉक्टर अग्रवाल हमसे पूछते थे आपके कोई दोस्त हैं उनको बुला लीजिए, लेकिन आई एम वेरी हैप्पी द काइंड ऑफ मीडिया पैनल एक्चुअली दैट इज देयर and we are able to discuss and perhaps the kind of platform that these issues deserve, they are actually right now here. So moving on to our next media colleague, Divya is here. Divya is senior assistant editor with Indian Express right now, and she has over a decade of experience in working. She was with Khalees Time. So you were in Dubai or you were here, Divya?
I was in Dubai for a while.
You were in Dubai. Okay. So again, actually, I think you will be able to provide, some perspective from the Dubai's perspective as well, that how things are different, out here from the disabilities point of view there and here. And Divya has also worked with Khalees Times and, as I said, Times of India in the past. And she writes stories, and she is a Sanskrit Prabha Dutt Fellow for Excellence in Journalism. And she is researching on the lives of children of the sex workers in India. I think it's a fascinating, background that you're having. And I used to head HIV/AIDS communication for UNICEF and UNAIDS for a very, very long time. And I have worked in those areas quite a lot. And I really, appreciate, how much, personal conviction actually that you require to basically go out and do, these kind of stories. So they also suffer, the kind of stigma. The kind of stigma is also another kind of disability which we have, came across in our life. And so what you would like to suggest, Divya, how we can actually see to it that these stories, of the such wonderful stories of Dr. Agrawal, Rahul, there are, and what the Nishtha, just spoken about, how we can actually, bring the spotlight, ताकि ये जो जुगनू जो चमक रहे हैं, मतलब वो सबको जो है दिखाई देना शुरू हो जाए.
Thank you, Ajay ji. Thank you. So, to start with, I think this issue of disability, this inclusiveness, we should never see it as an us versus them issue. We should always look at it as, we are all disabled in some way or the other. Somebody may have mental disability, somebody may have emotional disability. हम सब कहीं ना कहीं disabled तो हैं, but we all need some kind of special help, and somebody who's visually impaired may need some kind of special help, and I may need some other kind of help. So going back to how I met Dr. Agarwal first, I met him in 2011. In fact, it was my first year at the Indian Express. And I was sitting with a friend at Costa Coffee Outlet one evening when I saw, hearing and speech impaired people as servers. And I was fascinated. I just wanted to know how did this happen. And that led me to Dr. Agarwal. I remember I visited his office in South Delhi and I met him. And it really opened my eyes that, job is such a basic thing, and we never thought of the job aspect, the self-dependent, being self-dependent, that aspect. And so in that direction, I started researching a bit, and I got to know that he's got so many people, get a job at in the hospitality sector at hotels like Lemon Tree, as you mentioned, Hyatt, and all those places. And his research really helped. How the kind of jobs that they can do are basically have to be simple and repetitive, and that's that. They don't have to be very complicated. There doesn't have to be a lot of user interface. And now we see hearing impaired people, speech impaired people at all places, even at Soda Bottle Opener Wala, where they've created a special menu, with sign language. So those kind of things are very, very important. And then with Express, since I cover art and culture, so I while I was covering a story at National Museum in 2015 perhaps, I got to know about this landmark initiative about an exhibition, an art exhibition for the visually impaired. It was called Anubhav. I had never heard of something like this before. How everybody needs access to art and culture, and now, as Ajay, you also mentioned, the after pandemic, we are all living in a new normal. And what is sustaining us? Art and culture is sustaining us, whether it is through OTT platforms, whether it is through films, whether it is through music, whether it's books, whatever it is. So all of that has to be also taken into account. So job and self dependence is one aspect, but giving them access to art and culture, giving them access to everything else that we have, everything that sustains us emotionally, psychologically, is also very important. So in that aspect, I think we have audiobooks, we have Audible, we have everything. But I think a lot needs to be done in the field of OTT platforms. They don't have anything. Grocery shopping is one aspect. On any website, if you want to do online grocery shopping, there is just no tab, there is just no facility for those who can't see, you know. So all these things really need to be taken care of. I think we should take things one by one, step by step, one thing at a time. And obviously, people like Dr. Agarwal and Rahul, they can really give a lot of inputs to society at large, to corporates, and even to media about what is lacking, what can be highlighted, what can be highlighted with what kind of examples, and we can look at the human aspect, the human angle, and a lot can be done. And we should not look at it as we are doing something. This is a society, we all need help from each other. I also need help from somebody, and somebody may need some help that I can provide. So we should all look at it from a give and take angle, rather than a very us versus them angle. I think that's what I think.
Fantastic, Divya. Thank you so much. I think you have brought in a very, very important point about, like, let's not consider us versus them. And the whole aspect about the art and culture are sort of a new normal or new abnormal that we think, perhaps like, we all have to adapt. And one of the most important thing, that you have spoken about is that to some extent we all are disabled, or we will experience disability. I think we have seen, I have seen enough life, seeing actually lots of, youngsters, or rather actually, when I was growing up as a child, our parents, they were pretty young, and after that, like, they were holding a stick, they can't see, they can't walk, or so many, disabilities. Perhaps, like, this is something, we all have to realize is that this is not the case, that, look, only those people who are born with these kind of, problems have to be treated, one bracket. Otherwise, we all have to go through. So basically, it is in the common interest that we demand for that particular, culture, that particular infrastructure, which is enabling. And perhaps, like, what happens very often, people talk about it is what is in it for me. When we went to with Dr. Agarwal, actually, I went around with a number of corporates. They said, what is in it for me? Why we should employ? Now, after that, when they started realizing is that the people that they have employed are turning out to be the best employees of the month, month after month. The kind of productivity, the kind of, like, sort of loyalty or dedication, attention span, so many, positives, they managed to bring about. And as media person, I would say, like, this is something which is interesting to me. Working with Mahesh Bhatt for all these years, I used to ask him one question. I said, like, why you have chosen to be in film industry? Because he said, I am a storyteller. So I said, but why do you think that, a storyteller will have a career for you? He said, people are interested in stories, actually. People are interested in people. People are interested in their stories. And I think, there cannot be any better, it's so monotonous conversation is happening, actually, when we look at it. And I think for you, for Ravishji, for Shraddha, I think all of us, actually, there is the opportunity to tell the stories. So thank you so much, Divya. And
I would just like to add one sentence.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, attention span, I think, is among the biggest disabilities that all of us have.
All of us have. All of us have.
So I think we all live with disabilities, and let's just accept that and help each other.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And in fact, one of the biggest disability that we are having, I was telling that somebody that, we like to make little videos and all that. He said, these days, अजय जी क्या होता है कि जैसी वीडियो आता है ना व्हाट्सएप पे, लोग सबसे पहले देखते हैं कितने देर का है. अगर वो 5-6 मिनट का होता ना, तो उसको वो आगे बढ़ा के देख लेते हैं, पीछे करके देख लेते हैं. they don't. I mean, it's a real challenge actually for the filmmakers, for the storytellers. I mean, I was told, I mean, because I was not from the film background, but I ended up, directing almost close to 50 films, and we were told your biggest, I mean, obstacle is the resistance that the people having around their head. How you penetrate, through that resistance. First 2 minutes, first 20 seconds, first 30 seconds. If you are making a short film, I'm sure, like, when we'll be listening to Pavitra, she'll be, I mean, talking, quite a lot about, the challenges that we face. But let me, just to complete, about the media panel, go to Shraddha. And Shraddha, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. So I was thinking, perhaps, like, I mean, you have been muted or you are not listening as well. So Shraddha is, she is working with Times of India. She has been journalist for almost 8 years now. She has been reporting on education and primary specialization. She's also writing about the disability and women issues. And also she has a lot of, interest and passion, I mean, some of the areas where the disabled people, they face the challenge. And she has worked with the Hindustan Times and Indian Express in the past. And the best part is actually, that she's from Kalimpong, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. I have done a lot of, shooting in that particular area. And I hope, things, again, I'm sure, like, will be looking good. So, Shraddha, let me ask you this question is that, what we are discussing is that what Ravish has highlighted is that we need to build bridges. We need to take the stories. We need to do a lot of empowerment of rather information. In fact, one of the things I would like to talk about is that I have worked quite a lot on immunization issues. I mean, on polio, across the country, I managed this polio campaign. And I brought almost every single person, right from Amitabh Bachchan to, so many, industry people. And a lot of people, a lot of time actually, when we were analyzing the media coverage on immunization, and we thought like, close to 500 million doses, they are given in our country to children. And out of that, maybe 500 to 700 very serious AEFI, what we call the adverse events following immunization, they happen. But 90% of the time, the coverage takes place when AEFI happens. So if you look at it, actually total immunization benefits and vis-a-vis the kind of coverage that we get, perhaps like, we started feeling that there is some problem. And we started a program called, called Critical Appraisal Skill Program, wherein actually, we engaged the media people across the country. We had the consultation and everybody realized that we don't understand these issues properly. We really don't understand, how to make our coverage, more evidence-based. How basically we can, broad-based it more actually, more sources actually we bring into that story. So, Shraddha, we would like to listen from you, your suggestions, since you are covering, some of these issues, how these issues can find ways and how the power of storytelling that can be leveraged in supporting the cause of people with disabilities.
So, when we talk about disability, but somehow we working in the media is also supposed, like, not blamed exactly, but there's a certain kind of narrative that we follow when it comes with people with disability. Okay, the first that we raise is if there are issues with accessibility, simple things like if there is no ramp in a certain place, or there are some issues, that is the issues that we raise, right? The other issue is, if somebody, one particular individual, we celebrate disability in that sense, like one story that, we want to highlight kind of a thing. So, yeah, so our coverage, our understanding of disability is, very confined to these two issues. Beyond that, we have neither tried to look into nor, there is a interest that comes from, like, from the organizations, or for that matter, the entire disability or the media space that there is. So somehow, I feel it's important to move away from that, like fine, there must be so many other things, like you highlight. For that matter, I'll give you a simple example. So recently the UDI, because since I cover education, so I'll exactly draw inferences and examples from there. So recently the UDIC data, it's a data of schools, what kind of schooling, it's there, right? And when I was going through the data, generally, I just wanted to look in what kind of enrollment it is. So it was very surprising for me to see when a child with disability moves from the primary education to, even for that, I'm not going to even senior secondary, I'm just coming to secondary, and secondary education would be around class 9, 10 at the max. You will not believe the kind of, the drop in enrollment. It's just they get out of school, or I don't know what it is, but that does happen. And I've referred to like last 5 years data, and the numbers are appalling. Okay, like it's very bad. And by the time you reach the senior secondary level, it's even more bad. So but these stories generally don't come out. Like we also don't do these things, but it's important. Like if you are talking about empowering disabled, but if you are not giving them education in that sense of what you're supposed to give, so how do you go to that space? How do you talk about empowering or probably making them independent in that sense? So I think so somehow we have failed to do so. And somehow, like Ravishji mentioned, there is some kind of disconnect between the media and the people, even for that matter. Yeah, like I know there are a large number of organizations who are working with people with disability. Obviously for us also it is not possible to reach everybody, so there are organizations who act as a bridge in that, right? But somehow there is a kind of a disconnect between them and us. So somehow I don't know how do we build that bridge, but yes, we have to try and build that bridge so that stories come out, because I think that is how, because we cannot reach everywhere, so there has to be some kind of a bridge connect which helps us to go around. And like I mentioned, we need to look, because the solution to everything, I believe, is education. Okay, because or maybe from the field that I come from, or the field I cover or specialize in, I believe so. When we are not even looking at education of children with disability, and this is irrespective of whichever sector category that you come from, whether you are from a lower middle class, or even for that matter for an upper middle class, so that is somewhere we need to tap on. And I think considering Sarthak deals with with the youth and providing them empowerment, I think Sarthak must be having greater access to that. So if those things come to us, and even for that matter, there are so many organizations you might be, Sarthak must be dealing with. So, that kind of stories we need to get out, and somehow we need to have access to that. So I don't know how do we do that, but yes, some sort of a building has to be there. So that is what I feel. And other thing that Divya was talking about, and right now more than, because print media, even for that matter television media, is seeing a transition to the digital, right? And somehow when obviously when the topic came of the panel discussions, I just wanted to read through. So when I was reading through, it was interesting, because I did not know. And as Divya mentioned about accessibility on app, apparently there is a legislation which exists on how digital platforms are supposed to be accessible in terms. And I don't think so even for that matter our Times of India website, or for that matter even any news website has that kind of that kind of accessibility it provides for people who want to, just like simple thing like you want to read news or want to do. So apparently there is a legislation of the Indian government, and because since we have ratified with the UN convention, so you're supposed to follow, but obviously there is no implementation on the ground, and maybe important, like there is no awareness, so there is no understanding, or people just decide to ignore. So somehow some kind of sensitization or some kind of advocacy in that direction will also help digital platforms becoming accessible to people with disabilities. So somewhere, yeah, that way we can also, the media has to contribute, because right now, irrespective of whether you are a TV, whether you are print, you are moving to digital, because that's the future, right? So I think that is where these are a few gaps, lacuna, that we can fill in and help and somehow move together in the journey. So yeah, that's all I have to add.
I think Shraddha, you have really made some very, very vital points, and specifically when we are moving, from physical to digital in almost all areas of our life, and saying, this is a new normal. I think we have to ensure that it should not become a new abnormal actually for people with disabilities.
True, yeah.
And this is where I think what I think all of you have been repeatedly emphasizing this particular point is that I think the challenge is there for organizations like Sarthak to, the way I said, when I was working with Oxfam and I identified, close to, maybe, more than 100 stories, which could be, told through, 2-minute, 3-minute kind of capsules. Similarly, I think the challenge lies, how we can, in organizations like this, they should be, because what will happen, we have to celebrate the success. And when we celebrate the success, actually, that becomes infectious. And a lot of people, they get interested. As of now, I think Sarthak is one organization where demand is greater than they are able to supply. This in itself can be a story, because the kind of empowerment that they are doing of people with disability and the sort of value add these people are making to the organizations where they are going, I think it's incredible. But somewhere, the point that you have made about, that we need to, bring somehow these kind of, when we are moving to digital space, more and more things will happen in digital there. I think a very strong advocacy is needed, that interest of people with disabilities, they are not ignored. And somehow actually the legislation is there, perhaps we need to, press for it. So thank you so much, Divya. Shraddha, you have made some very good points. And I think challenges, I'm sure, I think Nishtha and Dr. Agarwal and everybody, in the board, advisory board, we all will sit together. We'll see to it that there is a pipeline is created, where the good stories, not the good stories which are just the human interested stories, but the stories which advocate to a particular cause, which represent to a cause, they are basically created and communicated. So thank you so much. I am very, very happy that, you are here. And now I think it's my great privilege to welcome Pavitra Chelam. And Pavitra is based in Bangalore, and I'm very happy that she is a filmmaker. I entered the film industry when I was in my early 30s and hung up my boot actually by the time I reached my late 40s. So I salute you, Divya. Pavitra. For the kind of courage that you have shown for making so many films, so many award and accolades which have come in your way. I was told that she has made close to 200 films. I think which is really, really remarkable, because somewhere you are able to make films when some stories they make you really uncomfortable within yourself. The story needs to come out of you. And the story needs to find, something on a screen. What was really fascinating for me as a filmmaker is that what I think between the year, I'm able to, translate that on the screen and able to see, that was a real joy, the real kick. Not the, so-called the glamour or the money. That was not something actually, which was attracting me over there. So Pavitra has been for almost around, for 15 years, she has been making films. And she has a founder of a organization called Curly Street. And Pavitra's journey with the film started in 2003, where as part of the Youth Initiative for Peace in Pakistan, that's very fascinating. She made her film debut, Bus, a cinematic exposition on the shared ideals of the youth of the both nations. I remember when this Bus started, during Vajpayee's regime, and a lot of people, including, we were also there. We just wanted to capture the emotions, how now the people actually, who always feel that they have their relatives, so many things are invested. We might be able to see from a sort of polarized society, the, different kind of perspective, but there are people and their sentiments, the real sentiments actually, people are able to see around that time. So I am very happy, that you were there, actually, you were able to capture. And Pavitra earned her master's in filmmaking at the New York Film Academy in 2006. Her thesis at the New York Film Academy, Anamika, Her Glorious Past, went on to receive the critical acclaim in festivals across the world and was screened at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. Pavitra has been privileged to receive numerous awards over the last decade, including the Ability Media International Award in London for the best film for Khushbu, a film about children with complex needs. So I think there cannot be any better person actually than Pavitra herself. And the way, she has listened to, or the way the media people are talking about, the way, they have the need to be told, the need to be, given sort of, some kind of, sometimes I feel as a journalist, in case if I'm interested, the onus is on me to basically find out the stories. But somehow given that so much, pressure happens to be in the media people today, that, you need to at least, go and knock the doors. But perhaps you can tell Pavitra, what motivates you to basically get interested in those stories and not just get motivated, but basically translate onto the screen. Over to you, Pavitra.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be on this panel and to listen to all of you. And congratulations, Sarthak. In fact, I only got to speak to Dr. Agarwal about 6 months ago. And the only thing I've been thinking about is how can we tell his story? I became a filmmaker, documentary filmmaker, because I wanted to tell stories of hope. And I wanted to celebrate these stories and these heroes and communities that really have no way of reaching out. And in 2011, I made my first film on children with disabilities and complex needs. And I have spent the next 10 years of my life telling the neglected story of disability, birth defect, and really the magnitude of its hidden toll. And the last 10 years, with every film I've made, on Down syndrome, films about birth defects for organizations with autism, I am absolutely blown away by the extraordinary odds that people with disabilities have to navigate every day. And like all of you have said, I think it's my dream to take disability out of isolation. And it's really sad that we actually have a thing as mainstream media, or mainstream film, because disability is a part of our lives and it needs to be integrated into every conversation. And it needs to be part of every living room discussion, every dinner table conversation. And like Shraddha said, when we grew up and went to school, even though I'm from a public school, I hardly ever met people with disability. It is invisible. And to me, that is ridiculous. It's not okay. And that's not the world we should be leaving behind to our children. And, art is amazing in the way that it can create curiosity. And curiosity is the first step towards inclusion. And if you're able to build that level of curiosity and inclusion, you can then probably create empathy. And it is that empathy that becomes the face of empowerment. And most of my films, yes, won many awards, but never made it to mainstream, anything mainstream until last year. In fact, our film Indelible, which followed the lives of 7 people with Down syndrome, it's India's first film on Down syndrome. It was screened at the World Down Syndrome Congress in Africa, and India won the pitch to host it, and it received a lot of acclaim, and it's been used in organizations. But other than a channel, a Maori channel in New Zealand, the film unfortunately was never received anywhere in Asia or screened. And finally, our film Rooting for Runa, I have followed the story of this little girl born with a severe birth defect and disability in the northeast of India. And I followed her story for 7 years. And finally, the film was taken by Netflix and it premiered in October last year. So I would really love for all of you to watch it, because I think what I wanted to do with it is really have an intimate experience with the family, so that people understand what it means to have a child with a birth defect and what the family has to navigate. And it is a heartbreaking story. It is tragic, but it never takes away from the hope. And, I just truly hope that there is a space and the community of people with disability are able to have ownership within the media industry. If they do not have ownership of the space, if they cannot call it their own, then there is no way we can start to build this integrated and inclusive society. And, one more thing, I think it's us as a society, the so-called people without disabilities, or, who consider themselves normal, who are actually ill-equipped to understand what it takes to navigate life every day. Exactly like you said, Rahul. I mean, it's so important to, even with the steps, it's such a small but important thing, and people around really don't know enough. So I feel like as a society, if we are better informed, that is our responsibility to be better informed and to create an environment of empathy so that people with disability do not have to live on the fringes of society, but take center stage and own this country and every platform as much as anyone else. So yeah, that's kind of been my dream and my passion, and I hope to continue to do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pavitra. In fact, I would say it's just not you are the kind of subjects that you are dealing with. If I say as a media person, put my hat actually as a journalist in the past, I think you are also a story for us. Even for us media people, the way किसी का एक बहुत अच्छा किसी ने शेर बोला है कि जो अकेले चलने का हौसला रखते हैं काफिले उन्हीं के पीछे लगते हैं. So I think the way you are a pioneer in very many ways. You are bringing the spotlight, and you are so fascinated by the kind of stories which are there, which are motivating you, which are encouraging you to basically work on them. Finally, I think since we have overshot the time a little bit, and but still I would like urge Rahul to because he spoke in the beginning and now he listened to everybody, maybe for the next couple of minutes, Rahul, what you would like to basically tell the media people. All are actually, there is no question of us and they. We are a family actually. We are sitting together and we are now discussing basically some of the very important suggestions have come, very valuable suggestions have come. We could realize where the challenge is. Just basically disabled people achieving something is not a story in itself, but actually somewhere we have to create the platform, we have to create that particular pipeline to feed to the real media so that they are able to basically capitalize on that. So just a couple of quick minutes, Rahul, and we will close it.
Cognizant of the time, and thank you so much. There are a couple of points that I heard and my quick responses. My request to the panel here is, you really don't need to go out to find stories. You are the story makers, you are the story creators. Create an opportunity around you. I think the success of this panel would be each one of you, when you go back to your respective organizations, NDTV, Indian Express, Times of India, and Pavitra to the film community and Ajay ji, please go and ask how many of your co-workers are disabled or are Divyangs either physically or mentally. And if not, please take a pledge to say, and go and talk to your leadership. Can we be the change? Can we bring the change? Your stories will come naturally to you. To learn it, be in it. I remember meeting Dr. Abdul Kalam almost 20 years back. I think there cannot be a bigger motivator than. And I then asked him, at that time, there was no law or there was no reservation in the civil services. When I spoke to him, he took the point with care and he said, and I told him, I said, it's so amazing that there was a debate going on in the judiciary. Can people with disability be at the helm? And I said, what could be more ironical that this question is being asked in a time when our then defense secretary was partially visually sighted. I think some of the questions that media need to take along with it are our co-workers partially sighted? If not, 15% of India's population is Divyang. Please have at least 10% sitting next to you. Second, we need to change the narrative. Shraddha, I love the fact you talked about education. We need to change the view. We now need to go beyond the waiters. We need to now go beyond mechanics. It's now high time we talk about engineers, we talk about leaders. It's high time. Somebody needs to pick, and Pavitra could be an idea. Have a quirky thought. Can there be a prime minister in this country at one day, who is Divyang? Can there be a president in this country? If in the West we have had such legends at an age in their mid-30s, nothing is unimaginable. When I got into my career, I could not pick a check and read it. A doctor gave me a small glasses, and I'll not stretch it longer here. small changes can make big impact. If each one of you here pick small pieces, we can together make a big change. I will love to have an interaction with each one of you independently. And perhaps if next year we all can come and talk that where we started this year and what is a change that each one of us could brought in. I think.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much. I think, some very powerful suggestions you have given. And hopefully, as they say, Insha Ganesha, Inshallah, next year, we will see, we have moved actually, what we said. If India Matters was there in the 90s, perhaps Access Matters actually, could be the new theme that media, maybe perhaps together they can explore. Nishtha, now I think it's over to you. I don't know actually what is the plan you have. You have some digital mementos to be given to our panelists. And I think it's a real honor for me to be part of this discussion. And I seriously look forward to, as Rahul has said, not just make it as some kind of a customary thing when we interact, every year when some kind of a panel discussion is there for 1 hour. Rather, actually, we should be, more frequently we should meet. We are people with a lot of ideas, with a lot of, exposure. And I'm sure, we can be a set and we can be really empowering, actually, not just the people with disability, but our own profession that we are in.